How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to give it a little bit more time just in case anyone wants to join. And then I'm also going to give you a link. Let me find it. Just in case you wanted to follow along, I made a little bit of a presentation. Um, Not that you guys have to, but if you find it helpful, you can go ahead and check that out. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. Thank you guys for joining me today. Is this a good time for most of you guys for
For me, it is.
Okay. Me too. All right, so let me just add this in here. This is my first time doing this, so let me know if this works for you, but this is essentially what we're going to be talking about. And it's this new trend in um, loan signings for when I see things being recorded. Um, okay. And then what is everybody's kind of knowledge or everything like that for is everybody on here pretty much already a Ron or just looking into it just so that I can kind of gauge how into it I get?
Into it, you said.
I have a Ron license, but I'm not. I'm just starting out, so I'm brand new to
Okay,
everything.
perfect. Well, welcome. And then just so you know, this meeting will be recorded. I don't know if we're going to use it for promotional or just use it for putting it on the YouTube just in case, people couldn't come and then they want to hop in. But just to let everybody know that this is being recorded. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to present my screen and just kind of go over it because this is something that I have seen over and over again. And I want to let you know too. Let me present and present full screen. Okay, so let me see if this will work. The latest trend that I have been seeing is that when I am doing the loan signings for remote online notarization, I keep running into the fact that different states want something called an affidavit. So it kind of looks different for everybody. Can you guys see this my screen as far as the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So as far as when I do the recording, what has been happening is that the title companies will come back to me and say, "Hey, you know, uh, they need a affidavit." So there's a couple different kinds. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that this is what's been happening. So just so that you're not surprised if this happens to you. So also welcome. My name is Katie. I'm the Notary Relations Director, and we try and do these every other Thursday pretty much to try and bring notaries and business partners up to date on the latest and greatest. So just things that I have found that have popped up in my business that I wish that I have known, and things that our other notaries or notary partners kind of have asked us to bring awareness. So the thing that I have seen the most often is the document of authenticity. So the way that it was explained to me is that this is basically saying that I am a notary and I'm allowed to notarize for loan signings. So they look different, but the most common one that I've seen, because I work with a lot of Ohio title companies, is Ohio requires a wet signature. But I've also seen it in Texas, they have one. And then Kansas, I've had to do a wet signature document of authenticity from that as well. So if you're not really familiar, a wet signature is something where you have to go in person. So I would basically state there's usually wording on top, and I'll show you in just 1 minute. There's wording on top of it basically saying that I have the authority to be able to sign this. It was in front of me and I did everything above board, and then I sign it, and then someone else that I've had to go run out and get this signed notarizes it for me. So when this keeps popping up, what I've had to do is call the actual county to see the type of document that they need. So Ohio has a website that has a the uniform form that they want. So that makes it kind of easy. And Texas does too. But I have seen different counties and different recording offices want different types of things. So I just want you to be aware of it. It is something that I don't really, oh shoot. Well, I want that. Okay. That I don't really care for, just because it is not very conducive to our business as a remote online notary, because we're supposed to be able to do everything remotely. So for me to have to go and do a wet signature is not the easiest thing in the world. So this is what it looks like. And my workaround was to copy and paste this because this is what the state of Ohio wants. And if you'll see down here, they wanted to be subscribed and sworn to me in front of a notary public. So they want a notary public to go get this signed by another notary public saying that the RON that I did was essentially valid and everything like that. So you can go ahead and look it over too. In the link that I think I put in there, you should be able to, yeah, I put it over there. You should be able to see that as well. But Texas has something, oh, darn it. Texas has something similar, which is also included in that, but it does not need a wet signature. So that's a little bit nicer. So just to kind of keep that in mind of when you are working with these different types of documents, you can include that both in your pricing, but also we were just talking about this, you're going to have to check with your own state guidelines as far as pricing, but just keep that in mind when you're working with these different states, that might take a little bit more time, because if I'm going to do something with Ohio, that's something that I'm going to have to be aware of. And I think honestly, it's for all electronic documents. I've only had to run into it when it's being recorded, and then an auditor kind of looks through it and then is like, okay, well, where's this document? But from what I understand, it's for everything for Ohio. I mean, obviously look into it yourself because I'm not a lawyer, but that's what it seems like to me. So just be aware of that.
How
So
can you get
go ahead.
how can you get a wet signature if you're not in Ohio?
Oh, so I get like they just want a wet signature and then I have to mail it. So I had to run out to my bank. Um, and
Oh,
get
so
it
okay. So if I'm in Arizona, I can get an Arizona notarized in Arizona, and
correct.
then send, I got you.
Yeah. And I haven't run into any issues as far as that. I just have to send it up north and then, deal with that. And usually what I would advocate for is, since it's the title companies or whoever is asking for it, to ask them to do the shipping, because it's for their
Gotcha.
information and everything. So my kind of thing to think about is to advocate. I definitely advocate for advocating for switching this law. I don't really understand it. I mean, I'm not about to get into a fight with whoever made this law in Ohio, but it doesn't really make the most sense, kind of. I'm just going to say it because, you can just look up our commission numbers and everything like that. And obviously, if we're sending it, we have the backing of the authenticity. We have all of the certification and all of the encryption. If they ever wanted to ask us about it, I mean, we have enough evidence that we're the ones that did it. So, if anyone has an in for those types of things, I know that we can advocate for ourselves. Also, think about that for the price. If you wanted to add extra time in for wet signatures, look into your own state guidelines. But for me, I would think that that would be an extra cost, just because that's something extra that I have to do on top of the notarization. And then also educate. So if you have another notary that is a remote online notary that wasn't able to hop on this call. If you want to let them know that this is something that I have seen, and I don't know if more states are going to adopt this. I'm crossing my fingers that they don't, because it just kind of adds an extra step for us. And it's a little bit of a roadblock, I think. And I'm still very thankful that we have Ron even available, but I mean, you can see the drawbacks. So that essentially is our lunch and learn to kind of get you guys up to date on one of these trends. As far as I said loan signings, but it seems like it's for everything, especially Ohio and then also Texas. And I don't remember for Kansas. I couldn't find it, but it is for Kansas as well. So I wanted to open up the conversation for if anyone had any. Let me stop presenting. If anyone had any questions or anything that I can help with. Yes, Stephanie. Stephanie, if you're okay.
I was trying to unmute. Good morning.
No, you're fine. Good
Well,
morning.
good afternoon, actually.
Yes.
Okay. So you said Ohio's website has the uniform form. When you say Ohio's website, are you referring to the Secretary of State's website? What website are you referring to?
So it looks like it's under codes.ohio.gov, and I'll send it to you right now in the little chat screen.
Okay.
But it seems like it's the main one, and I could only find it because the county clerk sent it to me. But it goes over all of the terms, and I don't know. I mean, I did kind of try and talk my way out of having to do that. And she was not really having it, because I was like, okay, can you, instead of that, can I send you our authenticity? Blue Notary gives the breakdown basically of what we did. It gives the IP, everything, the person, the IP address, what time they started the notarization, your name, your commission number. And all they have to do is look on my state for the commission number, and they can see that I'm an actual commission notary that is active. And that was no dice. So,
Okay.
yeah, but that is the code for it. And then I can also send, let me get out of this presentation so that way I can get the thing for Texas. But someone else was nice enough to send it over to me. Yes, I think I see another question.
So this is for all online notaries in Ohio?
Well, okay, so here's the thing, because we are able to do the notarizations for anywhere, technically, even though I did it in Florida, to be able to be recorded in Ohio wanted that from me. So if you are doing a notarization from whatever state, it seems like to me Ohio doesn't care, and they want their document regardless. So that is something to kind of consider. It's only happened for when it is being recorded for the different this one was a warranty deed. So it seems like the warranty deeds are the ones that are being recorded, and that you have to think about.
Annoying thing too, funny,
Yeah.
was not having necessarily to get a document notarized, but to do a notice of cancellation for an
Mhm.
NOA in Florida. The notice of cancellation has to be served by a process server
Yeah.
before it can be recorded. So I ended up charging $500 for it. It cost me like $120 through ProofServe, who Blue Notary is friends with.
Yeah.
And I charged $500 for the notarization, the process serving, and everything, but I ended up netting like $325 on the transaction.
Yeah.
So if you price it right and you're allowed to price it that way, it worked out.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't charge my client any extra just because I had that relationship, and I didn't want to sour that, but it was not the funnest to go run over there and get things notarized. And then there was another one where Kansas did that, and then also another one for Ohio. So that's I don't think that, like, for I guess the general public or like the general notary work, if you do it and it's not being recorded, I don't think that it's going to matter as much, but that is a law that's out there. And the auditor definitely wanted that document in order for it to be what do you call it? Recorded.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's just something to kind of think about. But did you guys have any other questions or anything else that you wanted to talk about?
I feel like the Jeopardy theme song should play.
Do, 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 do. We can.
I know some of y'all have questions. Come on, hype up.
I mean, if they don't, that's okay too. I
Don't
think
be shy.
don't be shy. No, I mean yeah. I mean, I'm here if you guys or we have other notary. Chris has been a notary and is, for however long and Monique and everyone. I recognize a few of you. So, but if you guys have any questions, okay. We can go ahead and open it up, but otherwise, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. And then feel free to look at or save at least, because I don't know what happens after this. Save the Canva and then save that for the Ohio code if that's something that you're interested in. Do you think that that was helpful for the presentation? Because I'm tweaking everything all the time. Was the presentation okay? Like, is that something that I should continue or just kind of go away and just talk?
I liked it.
Okay.
I like the presentation.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Wonderful, Katie. Wonderful.
Okay, so since we're here, do you guys have anything? Now, I won't be doing a webinar next week because I'm going to be at Digital Mortgage and I'm going to be over in Vegas and I can't do another presentation. But is there a certain topic that you wanted to talk about for the next Thursday? Or anything that you wanted to, bring up? If you don't now, that's okay. It's not like a speak now or forever hold your peace.
I feel like this is like AA for notaries.
Do you think? But if you have a topic that you want to touch on, or if you have a speaker that you want to see, I can see about bringing someone in. So it's not just me talking all the time. But just let me know in the group, and then I will do my best to get someone in the thread or someone that knows more than I do as far as a certain topic.
I'll run one if you need me to.
You want to run the one on Thursday that I'm not going to be at?
Oh, Katie. Oh, you're having fun in Vegas? All of us have to sit here and listen to me talk? This is preposterous.
We can talk about it afterwards, but like I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like I think
let's
that's a
chat.
good idea. Okay. All right, so we'll talk about it. But thank you guys for taking the time to hang out with me. I hope that this was helpful. It's something that I had no idea when the lady's like, I need this. And I was like, I've never heard of this in my entire life. And I talked to a lot of notaries. Yes, Faylene, sorry. Go ahead.
So I am brand new to BlueNotary. I was just approved last week. I've been a wedding notary since '89, but I worked for companies and never really got the training back then. But about a year ago, I had decided to start, getting ready to do remote online notarizations. And so it's taken me a little bit, because I still have a day job, but I'm excited and just, I guess, asking for some recommendations.
Okay.
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to swap over to the pro. I had enrolled and there was something going on with my profile and it took a minute to get it sorted, but we got it sorted last week. So I'm going to go ahead and start my subscription back up since that's all sorted. But I guess I'm just looking for some advice. Like there's so many things to look at. Where do I even start?
Marketing or using the platform or both?
So I had initially signed up with the subscription using the platform, but I didn't hear back from anybody because there was an issue with I had entered something wrong. but we
Oh,
got that all sorted. So I'm fixing to go back over. I had just, dial it back to the free one, but I'm fixing to upgrade now that we've got all that sorted.
mhm.
So if I'm going to be spending money on the platform, I gotta hit the ground running. And
Yes.
I just want to like, what is the first thing I should focus on, to be able to do the online notarizations?
Yeah. So the first thing that I would say is to do the free course. So
Okay.
if you just Google Blue Notary courses, um,
Okay.
otherwise, let me see, Blue Notary courses. So
Yeah.
that we have a free one. Um,
Okay.
and that is the one that I would go ahead and go for just because it's technically our oh, thanks, Chris. It's technically all of our YouTubes, and I also recommend doing tests with a friend. So when you do tests with a friend, it's on our main dashboard. You scroll down and then go over. Um,
Okay.
but I would do tests with a friend and from both standpoints. So from you as the notary, just so that you're
Mm-hmm.
familiar with the process, and then
Right.
um, also you as the what do you call it? Signer. So that
Signer.
way,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That way, if you have a signer that isn't quite sure, you kind of know how to guide them. I
Mm-hmm.
would definitely do that as far as when you're first getting started. As far as marketing, I would go like full 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 on as far as marketing, like hitting every avenue that you kind of can, and there's a lot of free different ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would do Facebook groups like this, collaborate
Mm-hmm.
with other notaries. I
Mm-hmm.
really like networking events and then cold calling
Mm-hmm.
title companies and stuff like that. But Monique, did you usually have really good advice. Do you have any advice? Or oh, you're on mute.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
There
I
we
was
go.
looking for the mute. So I discovered something. I don't know what took me so long to do it, but I do a lot of notarizations for the elderly population. And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes they don't have a computer with a webcam or they're not using a laptop, but they all have a phone. And
Mm-hmm.
I've done a few notarizations actually this week that I could not get them to the phone. They just didn't understand how to use it. It wasn't working. The training that I've looked at on your guys' website,
Mhm.
it has some information, but I feel like it didn't take me all the way through from the very beginning to the very end of a
Mhm.
notarization on the phone.
Mhm.
So today I finally did the test with a friend with myself.
Mhm.
I had my laptop on as the notary and my cell phone as the person needing the notarization.
Yeah.
And what I did was through every step, I took a snapshot of what the screen looked like.
Oh, that's yeah.
It was like 36 steps.
Well,
It was a lot.
yeah.
But I think that's be really helpful going forward. So when I have a client that doesn't know how to use it, now I can pull up my phone. I put it in its own album. It just says Blue Notary, and I can take them step by step of what it looks like from the phone.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I don't know if that might help anybody here if you're struggling or your client is struggling, but I would say try it on the different ways because it looks different on the phone than it does on the laptop or
Yeah.
even
Mm-hmm.
tablet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
I
I
did start on the videos, so I've started watching those videos in the blue that library or whatever. So I've been
Mhm.
doing that.
Okay.
But I'm definitely gonna go back and make sure I find the free course. I bought a Texas notary book so that I know the law because I saw
Yes.
that in one of the videos. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting there. I just want to make sure I don't miss something. I'm so excited about this. So
Good.
I threw a
anyway,
couple links in the chat too, Faylene. One of
okay.
Katie's articles on getting started as a Ron on Blue Notary, and then also
Mm-hmm.
her article on setting up your Google My Business as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The link to the actual YouTube channel they have also.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this on my phone. I'm having a hard time finding the chat. In-call messages. There we go. Found it. All right,
Hey.
I'm in. All right, I got
Yeah.
it. I'm screenshotting this right now, so I have all that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good. Well, yeah, that's I think the most helpful, or like the way to get started. And then
Mhm.
we have a couple different videos on like marketing and kind of how to get started as far as that. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I really like the networking events. I hated it in the very beginning, and I just didn't want to go. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this upcoming networking event and everything. But I really do think that it helps my business as far as going out and into the community and kind of getting plugged in, which is weird because we are Iran, but it's like an
Mhm.
immediate source of like free uh, marketing is just going out there and kind of bucking everybody.
Right.
That's what
Right.
that's how I feel like it. And then sometimes another thing is like my how you frame your mindset of like introducing the topic to different people is that
Mhm.
we're providing a really, really helpful service. So I
Mhm.
mean, imagine if you didn't know about like Shipt or Uber and how nice it is that you know about that if you know, if
Mhm.
you use it or you recommend it to friends, because that's a really, really good service that there was a need, but nobody really kind of took up that spot. Um, but it is something that makes everybody's life easier, and that's the same thing as virtual notarization. Like they need us, they just don't know it yet. So um,
I
it's
love your back to school thing that you just posted not too long ago before school had started.
oh yeah, well yeah, that's yeah, because I mean we were talking about that, about how there was a mom that was like, I didn't want to have to pack up my kids, and then you did something where it was like the mom was in her
Oh
car.
yeah.
Yeah,
The mom was in her car because they needed some permission slip or something signed for the school. And I
yeah,
was like, yeah, girl, email it over. So she emailed over and she's literally in the car in the driveway with the ignition still on, kids screaming in the back.
yeah,
And she's like, wait, I don't have to come. She was actually in the neighborhood. And
yeah.
she's like, I don't have to come to you. I go, no, please don't. I go, my dog.
Please don't. Stay
Um,
over there.
so we
Mhm.
got it done. She's like, I love you. So
Yeah.
like literally once they do it once, it's like amazing. And then
Mhm.
they talk to their friends. But Katie had the great idea of doing like, and this is just one of her many examples. She's like, guys, there's back to school forms. Didn't you just do a form for a school?
Yeah.
And she goes, put up a post like, hey, families, like if you need me, I'm right here. Like a
Mhm.
lot of neighborhood groups and stuff like that. Use them to
Yeah.
your advantage.
I mean, I try and stay pretty on trend, like in Valentine's Day, like I'll post. So if you get married, I think I don't know about other states, but if you get married in the state of Florida, usually to do a name change that needs to be notarized. So I'm like, love is in the air, and so is name change forms. If you need a notary, let me know. So
Mhm.
you know, I try and do that. But Monique, you had another thing to say.
Yeah, I wanted to give you all a tip, something I discovered.
Sure.
High school seniors going into college,
Mhm.
they all need forms notarized because if they're going away to college, they need a power of attorney.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's a gold mine, and people are desperate looking for notaries at that
Mhm.
time. So hit up all your high schools, seniors, or all your local universities and colleges for freshmen coming in. They're
Mhm.
all looking for us.
Mhm. And that's the same
Maybe
for
even guidance counselors too. Hit the guidance counselors up to let them
ooh,
know.
that's a good one. That's the same for if someone is getting divorced. Usually the person would want to get a medical power of attorney just because otherwise sometimes it can go back to the ex-spouse. So usually divorced people don't really want that to happen anymore. So it is something to think.
From Valentine's Day to divorce, really.
I know, but so yeah, if it's something that most people that are getting divorced don't really think about immediately, but it is something to eventually kind of doing educational posts like that will add you as a valuable resource, and then also get you clients. So, and then you said and I see it hands up. Lesia, is that how you pronounce your name?
It's Aisha.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I actually just did my first run, and it was a fluke because a friend of mine had to have paperwork to the state like the next day, but it was a holiday.
Oof.
And so they were like, he was kind of like panicking, and then he was like, "Can you do it?" So I was like, "Of course." And then that made me do a post like, "Listen, I'm open on the holiday. Like,
Yeah.
it's no problem, because if I have to just step away for a minute and do a remote notary," and I got a lot of response from that post on Instagram. So I was just thinking that was another one where it's something, if you want to, you can do. And people need that. They like panic when it's the weekend and the holiday.
Yeah.
Share that story on your story. Like, oh my gosh, look what I just did, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's always a fun thing. I usually try and post right before. I used to work at a bank, so like I would see people tug on the door or come the next day, like, I needed something notarized. It's like, well, I wasn't here. But if you post like a couple days consistently before the holiday, it kind of keeps everybody at the top of keeps you at the top of everybody's mind, because like regardless, on Labor Day, someone needs something notarized and they're not going to be able to. But if they're like, ah, dang it, they go to the bank and they're like, didn't I see that Margaret posted something about how she's available, on Labor Day or whatever. I'm gonna give her a call. I'm gonna find that post. Also, when you're doing those posts, make sure that you put the word notary in there. So that way, in case I'm looking for a notary, or if I'm like, how did I'm not gonna search by your name, I'm gonna search by notary. So make sure that you're putting that, so that way when it goes back, you'll be able to find it.
Have a graphic ready too from Canva.
Yeah, I like Canva. Obviously, clearly.
For notary, I literally am just like, I can do it. Picture.
Yeah. Yeah, Monique, that's a good one. We can do that. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up, but that is good. We are going to see about continuing this next Thursday, but I'll be gone, so we're going to talk about it. But thank you guys for spending this time with me. I appreciate it, and I have fun with these. So thank you.
Nice to meet you.